guys, welcome back to another video. So today you join me in an Audi S5 Sportback. So I'm just going to be doing a tool review, my take, just my opinions on how it's been, what my thoughts are, how it drives, etc. So yeah, let's get straight to it.
Artlist.io.
So I'll begin with the specification of the car. So we have 350 horsepower with a single turbo, running around 500 Newton meters of torque. So a very fast car. So 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, along with the 3-litre V6. So plenty of power throughout the rev range. Quite a nice sounding engine too, I would say. So in terms of the way this car looks, I think it's got a really nice design because it has coupe-like design, which is quite popular among sort of many manufacturers now. So you get the look of what a normal maybe two-door S5 would have, but you get the practicality of a family car or something with 4 doors. As we know, this car is very popular, so I think that's one of the key reasons why. So from its predecessor, it has lost weight, around 85 kg, which obviously is great. It allows it to be somewhat faster. So I'll just talk now about how the car drives. I mean, it is a lot of fun. It's really fast. I've got it in the dynamic mode now. You're gonna gain from that is some weight in the steering wheel, sharper throttle, harsher gear changes, just an overall package that wants to really egg you on to go pretty fast. So this car new would be about 47k. That would be standard with no options, but I think the standard package is quite high on even just a normal A5 and S5 or an RS5. You get a lot of car whether you go for the bare minimum spec. So you're going to get this beautiful interior, well, most of it standard. So I mean, I think that's really impressive from Audi, because the thing is that I think even if you just buy an S5, you still get sort of a special feel. You don't have to buy the highest spec or the fastest one to just get a nice overall interior. So you could spec maybe just a virtual cockpit and some bucket seats, and you've got essentially a really nice interior. Because I mean, not everyone can afford maybe the RS5 or the highest specs in terms of maybe an S5. So maybe they're just going to go for an S5, which is a 2-litre TDI, which is still a good car. So you can maybe just spec it to with a few optional extras and get a relatively nice package. So I also wanted to make a quick comparison between this and the RS5. So the RS5 new would be about 13k in addition to what this costs. So I mean, I was just looking at sort of the specifications and is it worth it? Because the thing is that, like I said, you do get a lot. You get a car that is very fast in this. So it's 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, which is extremely fast. And in comparison, the RS5 gets you to 60 in 3.9. A relatively faster car, but is it worth that extra sort of money? Because they both look very good. I mean, the RS5 is beefed up a lot more, but is it worth that extra 13 grand? I'm not sure if I can say yes, really. I guess I would need to drive it alongside just to see what it can really do and how it differs. I just feel like this is such a good package as a mid-range coupe-like hatchback sort of car. I think this offers a lot. If you want to spend a couple of thousand on this, just to maybe lose some weight, get a remap stage 1, stage 2, and add some cooling parts just to increase the cooling and some exhaust modifications, you could essentially you could chop off a decent amount of time and make the car a bit more sharper for a lot less money than maybe buying an RS5. I'm not saying it's not a special car. I'm sure it is, but I'm just saying that for a lot less money, you could just make some slight modifications and get a much sharper car, a much more dynamic package. Even still, this is dynamic, but just to enhance it a tad, you could do that for a lot less money. So something to think about when you're looking at these cars. So this car is about 4 years old now, so you can pick them up for a decent price. The standard sort of package is around 46k new. The cheapest one on Auto Trader was around 23 or 24 with fairly high mileage. I think it was a categorized car, but I think a really good deal for the money. And if you want to get maybe one with the Audi warranties, etc., you're going to be looking at sort of further down, around closer to 30k. So in between that, you can get yourself a decent S5, but if you want the extensive warranties, you're going to be sort of closer to the 30k. I'll also compare the RS5 cost as well, used. So that car is still very expensive, I would say. It hasn't really sort of lost as much value as this, I would say. But I think the production was a bit later than this. This has been around since 2014-15. That started in around 2018, so still relatively new, a bit more desirable. Not as many on the road, so I think you'll get a better deal on this car. So relatively cheaper. So for the RS5, looking at about 45 to 50 grand still, which is a huge amount of money. So you could essentially pick this up for half the price. So you can spend a lot less money and get something that is relatively sharp. So the gearbox on offer in this car is an 8-speed automatic. It's had a lot of criticism because it's not a dual clutch transmission, which you seem to be getting in a lot of cars of this sort of age, and you get it in the standard S5. So it's strange that they didn't actually put it into this car. I mean, they've spent money in other areas, I understand, but I think that would be expected. So I think that's been quite an underwhelming point that they've put in this car. But it's not the worst gearbox. Still runs through the gears at relatively fast. You can catch out sometimes. It's not blisteringly quick like maybe ZF or double clutch transmission. But I mean, overall, it's not bad. Fuel consumption is good. You're going to average, well, on paper they say between 37 to 40. I've been getting around 25, but I have been driving quite aggressively and having a bit of fun. So I think even if you're driving that hard and getting that sort of MPG, that is quite impressive. Practicality is brilliant. You've got 5 usable seats. I mean, if you're above 6 foot, you're going to have plenty of headroom, even though you've got that low sloping roof because of the coupe look. Still fine, which is great, because from the outside you may think that, well, maybe you're not going to get that much room, but it's very good. And then along with that, because you've got this sloping roof which sort of turns into a hatchback, you have a nice big boot opening. So the bucket seats in here are absolutely beautiful. I think they look great. They've got this cross stitching, and I think it's a must-have if you're buying the car. It seems that a lot of them have, in the used market anyway, a lot of them have had the bucket option added. I think they really look the part, and I wouldn't buy one without them. Comfortable seats, headrest is good, a good size, lumbar support is great, which is all electronically operated. So a good overall seat, and I would highly recommend going for them. So guys, I've got a touch on this car's party trick, which I've just noticed earlier this morning. It's got massage seats in an Audi S5. I mean, I think that's so impressive, because I think if you're buying any of the rivals of this car, you're not going to get massage seats, if I'm completely honest. And I was on Auto Trader and I've looked at a fair few after I noticed it had that. It seems that loads of them had it. I'm so impressed. I mean, you've got massage seats in a relatively standardized family car. So I mean, I think that's super impressive, and I think this car, that just gives it that wow factor, to be honest with you. Yeah, so guys, you're gonna have bags of fun driving this car. It's extremely fast, and the power doesn't stop. You've got these flappy paddles that will keep you having a lot of fun. The noise as well is really nice. You've got good engine sound. You can hear a bit of turbo flutter, or turbo whistle should I say. That exhaust note is really nice. Like I said, it's a V6, so it's going to be a bit more, it's going to have a bit more better sound than the A45s or CLA 45s, because they are 4 cylinders. I'll now touch on the virtual cockpit this car has, which is absolutely brilliant in my opinion. What you'll get is you can cover this main bit with the maps, so you can have it on that screen there in the middle, or you can have it directly in front of you, and you can sort of play around with where you want the speedometer, the miles per hour, etc. But it's really nice just to have it directly in front of you, and it sort of covers the most part of the virtual sort of cockpit in front of you. So it's really nice. It looks much better than what I've seen previously, and it's just nice and wide. So just to conclude, I mean, I think it's a great overall car. Definitely highly recommend it. I wasn't really too sure what to think of how it would drive, because I've never really driven a car of this with this setup. I mean, it's the first time I'm jumping in an Audi S5. Would highly recommend getting one, really. The massage seats alone is just brilliant. You get a mix of having a great comfortable daily car, but then you've got a punch, and it's an extremely fast car. But you can tune it. Even if you do get slightly bored of the power, I think a stage 1 tune on this would really turn it into a very, very fast car. You can make some modifications along the way which would make it even greater. Yeah, definitely highly recommend it. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I hope I did cover a fair few points. Please do like and subscribe if you did. A lot more to come. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. That you think I should be covering. If you want me to cover more in detail on this car, please do let me know, and I'll do my best to do so. Any particular cars you want to see, let me know. Look forward to interacting with you guys, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.